Welcome to the Art of Lifting podcast. Today I am joined by Ben. Did you want to just introduce yourself?
Yes, so my name is Ben Pape. I'm a 105 powerlifter from GB. I've competed internationally and I coach powerlifting through Team Pape.
Perfect. That was a lovely intro. First question I ask anyone when they first come on here is, how did you find powerlifting?
How did I find? So I found powerlifting through Jacob Weimer back in 2017. I'd finished playing rugby for the season and was a bit bored of it at that point. And I messaged Jacob because he was doing powerlifting, bodybuilding stuff back then, way back when he used to train at Phoenix in Norwich. And so from there, we just kind of showed me powerlifting, showed me Harvey, who was my first coach, and it's just been like that since 2017.
I forget we're from a similar area, and where we're from doesn't have many powerlifters, because I wouldn't say Jacob got me into powerlifting, but he was one of the first people I knew of that because he went to the gym I first ever went to, and he was bodybuilding at the time, and then I just followed him from there. Then obviously he got into powerlifting a couple years before I then got into powerlifting, and he sold me my first ever belt.
Bloody hell.
So Jacob Weimer gets all of our success.
Every bit of plaudits from everyone from Norwich.
Pretty much, because there's no one else from Norwich. So you started around 2017 time.
Yeah.
What point did you start coaching?
I started coaching in 2018 because I'd had university people who were doing or wanted to do powerlifting at the same time as me. We had no kind of information, no kind of access to things at university. So kind of started PTing them one-on-one in the gym. So I'd end up not going to lectures. I'd go to the gym for about 11 a.m. I'd stay there till about 5, and I would train and kind of one-on-one PT my friends through that and kind of start coaching through that.
Which you'd think sounds like an irresponsible way to spend your time, but wasn't that De Montfort where you set up the university club?
Yeah.
Still going today?
Yeah, still going today. Sam's looking after it now.
Not going to be here next year then?
He'll be here next year, but I can't believe it's actually lasted that long. Like there was maybe 10, 11 of us to start with from a similar time, and then Ebony kind of held it up after I'd left, and it's just somehow managed to stay alive even through COVID and stuff like that. Yeah.
I always find it really interesting with the powerlifters that started, like, because I started similar time to you and I didn't go to uni, but obviously the ones that did, I do feel like it's such a, especially now with like the coaching and everything, like it really just helped you guys set up for success within the coaching world, because you just got into uni coaching when it was so new anyway. It just naturally happened, where obviously now it's so oversaturated, it's so different to get into.
Yeah, it was, no one really at that time was pushing university powerlifting. Like it was still very new. Like people had clubs, but it wasn't like a big thing. People didn't really have university coaches back then. And kind of online coaching, I think, was, I don't want to say in its infancy, but you know, classic powerlifting didn't start that much before then. So it's still fairly fresh at that point, where people need coaching, they don't know what to do. We're still being taught the same way that equipped lifting was happening. So it's all that, like, pull the elbows in, you should have all of this stuff still going on. And then you have this complete shift over to a bunch of university students basically trying to do it differently. And it just grew from there.
Yeah. So your background before powerlifting was rugby.
Yeah.
Did you play any other sports growing up, or was it just always rugby?
Rugby and cricket, one of the main two sports. I didn't really, like, I liked cricket, but it wasn't the best. It was really much more rugby since I was about 4 years old. My whole family played rugby. Like my dad, my sister, my mum have all played rugby. And it's kind of like that main family thing. Even like my cousins, my uncle, like, yeah, everyone in my family was rugby mad.
And I'm assuming at some point you had to make the decision between competitive powerlifting and rugby.
Yeah.
How long were you balancing both, and at what point did you make that choice to, I guess, focus on powerlifting?
I didn't balance both to start with, so I've had a bit back and forth with them. So what I did is I basically just fully quit rugby. Like I started doing powerlifting and I decided that I was just done with playing rugby, which was 2017. Just gave up. Was like, I'll just focus on powerlifting. It's just me, way more individual. Don't have to worry about 14 other people. So that was great. Up until kind of COVID hit, my pen's leaked all over my hands. That's brilliant. Got ink everywhere. Need a new pen to hold on to. But yeah, so 2017, quit rugby, started doing powerlifting, and then COVID hit, And kind of powerlifting through COVID was rough because it was so like by yourself. Like you couldn't go see people, you couldn't do anything. It kind of made me want to get back into rugby again. So I started again in 2021, and juggled both a bit. So on weekends, if I wouldn't play rugby, I'd do a full SBD session or just singles at like 8 to 10, just to see where I was at. And lost a load of weight as well doing that. And now I'm going to try to do both at the same time.
Yeah. So I've seen obviously that you're recently restarting rugby.
Yeah.
I didn't realize. Are you actually playing like full rugby as of like the season that's about to start?
Yeah. So the season starts in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So I will do full like Tuesday training, Saturday games, at level 6 for rugby, which is it's a reasonable level of rugby. It requires that you train and actually try real hard for it. So I can't be in like powerlifting shape and play. Like I have to change like how my training is to be able to do rugby at the same time.
How obviously you've been doing both for a couple months now, a few months now?
Yeah, a couple months.
Yeah. How have you found adding rugby back in?
It's been great. Like it's because for me it's so sentimental as well because I've played it my whole life. And kind of got into it by accident this summer. Like I just decided like I'd start swimming, doing some other fitness stuff. And I decided that I was going to start running. I haven't run in about 4 years. I was like, what if I still run? And so I went down to the local rugby pitches to run because there's lines. So I was like, I'll run 20 meters, walk back, and just do that a few times and kind of call it a day. But as I went down, they were playing touch rugby during that. And so I kind of wandered over. Like I sat in my car for ages. I was so nervous about going over to ask to play rugby. So it'd been so long. And I was like, can I join in? Like, please? Like, do I need to be a member or anything? Like, no. I spent 7-8 weeks just playing touch rugby with the guys and girls in summer. It was so much fun. And it kind of brought back that love for rugby as well. But training wise, I would do that touch rugby session and then I'll do a bench day the day after and then do SBD on the Thursday. So I'll do it on the Tuesdays. So there's always like a break and I had to kind of shift things along a little bit in powerlifting to make up for it just because my body is so not used to it.
I'm assuming the answer to this is yes. I think a lot of people, when they powerlift, they're scared to do anything but powerlift. I'm assuming that means you that very much think it's doable to do something else alongside powerlifting. It's just a case of adjusting your expectations and how you approach it, right?
Yeah, I think so. I used to be firmly in the camp of you need to be all powerlifting to be good at it. And then there's a few exceptions to the rule. Yeah. Like Ashton Ruska being able to run like marathons back in the day and still do powerlifting and still be active in the US military while doing all that. And it was like, well, he's the anomaly. Everyone else just has to stop with it. But no, I do think it's possible to play 2 sports at the same time. Like, you know, powerlifting isn't really that hard. Like as a sport, there are 3 lifts. You kind of stand still most of the time, sit down for 5 minutes, do it again. Like it's not that taxing. Like there is time in your schedule to be able to fit other sports, other hobbies, things like that. It's just if you're doing something that elicits as much stress as playing a full rugby game, like you're going to need to change things around a bit, maybe drop the powerlifting down a little bit.
Yeah, that's completely fair. And do you feel like since having rugby back in, you've been enjoying powerlifting more as well? Because you get focused on 2 things rather than, I think it can be quite overwhelming if powerlifting is your only thing. Yeah. It becomes your life, doesn't it? And it becomes quite consuming.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't always enjoy it as much. And obviously you're not going to enjoy everything all the time. But have you found since adding rugby back in, you've enjoyed powerlifting more as well?
I think so. It's been a bit of a difficult time with powerlifting, to be honest. But I've enjoyed my sessions, but I've been training like slightly differently. I've been trying to train faster. Because I'm more fit, I'm able to train faster, and that's been great. But at the same time, like the typical trends that you'd see through a block when you're just doing powerlifting have changed, and it's kind of adapting to those new things, which can be a bit off-putting for me because I'm so used to and so like aware of how my body responds and what normally happens. And if it doesn't happen, like say my deadlift's meant to peak in week 3, it doesn't peak in week 3 anymore, and I'm like, what is happening? Like, why is everything changing? It's like, oh yeah, I've got this other stress, I've got more stress added in, things are going to change. But it's tricky really. Like do you think that you'd be enjoying powerlifting more if you had another sport alongside?
I think it would obviously depend. I think it would go one way or the other. If it was, I think I would probably enjoy one of them a hell of a lot and one of them less, but
Yeah.
I would enjoy having both. Whereas at the moment, I enjoy powerlifting, but I enjoy it at like this level, where I think, let's say I played football again, I might absolutely love football and just dislike powerlifting slightly more, or vice versa of I don't mind football, but powerlifting is more fun now that I have the comparison of two very different sports. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. But do you think you need to prioritize one of them, or do you think that just naturally happens through what you enjoy more?
I think I mean, obviously, I haven't played another sport in a very long time, but I think it would just naturally happen, wouldn't it? And I know you said it's been a bit of a difficult time for powerlifting, but obviously the level in GB is rising at a crazy level. And when you say you're finding it difficult, do you think it's just that thing of just chasing progress? And obviously, when you've been in the sport for what, 8 years, 9 years, coming up to 9 years, progress isn't what it once was. Do you think that's where you're struggling with it?
Yeah, I think there's an element to I haven't made substantial progress in a number of years. Like I've ticked along. I did 875 3 times in a row, 877 as my best total ever, then 872, and since that 872 has been downhill in terms of numbers, but a lot's changed since then. In terms of like life things and kind of where priorities lie. But yeah, it's tough going from like I'm up here like top 2 in GB, and I still came second at nationals, but the way things are rising right now in powerlifting, like even if I PR'd my total, it might not be enough to podium at nationals, which is terrifying when I'm nowhere near touching my PB. I'm one lift away really. If I hit a deadlift at Northerns, like I'm close, but it's not enough for that, and that pressure of like I need to be competitive. It's kind of changing that for me and thinking I want to be competitive. I don't need to be. It doesn't change anything really in my life. I want to be competitive. I like competing for shiny things. Like, that's great. But if I'm not competing for shiny things there, I'll go somewhere else, compete for shiny things, or I'll change where my priorities lie in powerlifting. It's strange.
So this is actually something I want to ask you about, because I think as a coach, it's definitely going to be a conversation you have a lot as well. And it's around what drives people in powerlifting. I think a lot of newer lifters in their first couple of years, especially with Instagram and social media and how people post, it's very much people think they're not progressing fast enough. And it's like you can add 50 kilos on your total in a year and someone will still say they're not progressing fast enough because this other person added 80 kilos in a year. And it's like, I think when you've been around, I think pre-COVID era people know that that's not normal. Post-COVID era people are kind of now starting to learn that. And I guess question would be kind of like, do you have any advice, or what would your approach be towards people that are feeling like they're not progressing at the same rate as other people, or they think they're not as good because they're doing that?
It's really tricky because what you see on Instagram is obviously everyone's best. And the people with the most followers are typically going to be the most influencer type, who are really strong. So you've got people like Joey and Nathaniel who post and they're making crazy progress. And like Josh and Nonso as well, obviously make absolutely, like, it's insane. Like, it's actually mental what they're doing. But it gets so normalized because what you see on your feed coming through is, for example, those four coming through, making progress at every block, like world records, PBs, they're like best in the open. And you're like, but I'm training as hard as I can, and I'm nowhere near that. And there are so many factors that go into it, and it does just become that you versus you, me versus me thing, right? Because nothing that I can do in my training is going to influence any other 105 in the world. Like, it'll influence me and me alone, and it's just continuing to strive for being better than yourself, which is so cliche and so cringy to say, but it genuinely is that, right? Like, nothing I do is going to make, say, Sanchez, Nathaniel, CJ change anything in their training. They're still going to train. I'm still going to train. It just might be that I'm not progressing as fast as them, but I'm still putting in the effort. I'm still like worthy because of that. It's just that thing I literally posted on Instagram a couple of hours ago. It's like, you're not worth less than someone who say left more colourful circles than you. Like, that's how it goes, right?
Yeah. No, I think it's a really, really good answer. And I think it's something people maybe need to hear more, because it's always, you're only posting your PBs, you're only posting your main lifts. Most people aren't going to post if they've hit the same squat or range of their squat for the last 18 months, they're not going to be bragging about it online. But for a lot of people, that is the reality of it, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, 18 months would be nice. That'd be great. I haven't beat my squat since March 2023, I think it was.
Sounds to me like you're due one. Rugby might be
the way.
Maybe rugby accessory days are going to come in.
Well, this is it. I hit a PB squat in training. And the first time I've ever done 337, but in comp, I've not PB'd my squat since 2023. I've not PB'd my deadlift since 2022.
Yeah.
Like it's a long time ago. A long time ago. And I've been stronger. It just hasn't come to fruition. Yeah. And like all training is good training. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, if you're putting up reps, you're doing sets, you're working hard on your accessories, like it's all going to amount to something eventually.
Yeah. It's also the pressure to make it all appear on one day.
Yeah.
You compete 2-3 times a year usually at most for most people. Yeah. You can't set yourself up to always hit your best on all 3 lifts. Maybe one, but you're not going to hit all 3 lifts come together perfectly every single time you step on the platform.
Yeah, that's true. It's super meets somehow found their way to being the most common thing, and if you're not having a super meet every time, like they're called super meets for a reason. We call them super meets because you're PBing every single lift and your total by a decent amount.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't happen after a few years. It doesn't happen regularly. Like it requires that perfect day, and then after that perfect day, to beat a 9 out of 9 super meet, you have to you either have to get way stronger or you have another 9 out of 9 super meet. That's it.
Yeah. Gonna just kind of go on a bit of a tangent here or side note here of balancing rugby and powerlifting. Obviously, you are a 105 lifter. Yeah. How are you finding balancing your body weight with adding in that as well?
Well, I've been told to cut down a little bit. Like I don't need to either from like a powerlifting sense, weight class sense, or from where I play in rugby. So I'm going to play in the front row, which is a position I'm very comfortable in, but I can play anywhere else on the pitch, really. It's not really an issue. It's just that in terms of the amount of force going through me every time I'm running, like my calves are in bits. Like the reason I'm only training once a week at the moment for rugby is so that I can take the time to work on my calves. The amount of times my foot's hitting the floor, how my foot's hitting the floor, so that I can get used to transferring that force. And especially at the moment, the ground is like concrete. Like it just hits so hard, and the boots have absolutely no squish to them at all. It's just pure impact. So I think I'll lose a bit of weight. So I've been sitting around 106.5, 107, and I think I'll probably aim to be about 104-ish, 103.5, which might be good for nationals as well, to not have to worry about cutting. Not that cutting's too hard, but it's just I think with everything else that will be going on around that time, it's probably best I don't have the added stress of a cut.
With this is going to just go all over the place now. With obviously you are competitive, you're one of the top in GB in your weight class, and you're also a high level coach. So nationals you tend to also have to handle while you're there and stuff. How do you find balancing coaching during like the nationals weekends and also obviously being an athlete lifting, and you're normally lifting towards the end of it as well because you are in the heavier classes?
Yeah. In those weekends for me, I have to make a choice between whether I'm a coach or whether I'm a lifter. And whilst I am still competitive, or believe that I'm competitive, some people might not, that I will continue to be an athlete first on those weekends. And for my lifters that will be in nationals, like I will find handlers for them, or they'll have people that they want, and it will go through, not that it goes through a strict vetting process, but if they are very competitive, it is this person actually good enough to do what needs to be done on the day and make the selfish decisions for you to get where you need to be rather than where you want to be. Like if you want first, but it's a huge reach, I guess just going for third a better option, and making sure you have handlers like that. So it's basically friends, right? We all do this. Like if your friends are good at handling, you're going to push them there. Like I know Dandito will be at nationals and be in high demand from pretty much everyone. Anyone who's competitive, like Danny Free, and he's just going to be there the weekend handling. Robert Bermudez as well, like they're great. They're so good at the number side of things and great with the people as well. Yeah. So I mean, I'd love to handle all my clients at nationals. It would be so much fun. But if the day before I'm lifting, I'm spending just here, adrenaline, anxiety, everything through the roof. Like, my day's going to suck. And as selfish as that is, as an athlete, that's what you have to do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also one of those things, though. It's a very clear thing when people, I'm sure that's something that is set out way in advance.
Yeah.
I have this conversation sometimes with people where it's like we are online coaches, right? And as much as I want to be at your meets and I want to be there in person, it's not a guarantee, because like you have international clients, right? You can't be at all of their nationals. And it's the same within GB, especially if you're the one lifting. Like, obviously, if you're not lifting, like if it's juniors or something, much more likely to obviously be there and attend. But it's just having those kind of things set out in place long enough in advance and finding people that then takes the stress off of them having to find someone for themselves.
Yeah. And you can't always find someone. It's not a given that anyone will be there that you know, but typically people are willing to help out. And obviously with the new coaching license things as well, it becomes slightly more difficult to find people to do it. So for example, Krishan, who's one of my clients, his flatmate handled him at Nationals last year and he came third with a little bit of help from Owen at the end. It's like, now for Krishan, his friend can no longer handle him to help him stay calm through the day. We're going to have to find someone else to do that. But he'll be great for it. But it's that, whilst it's such a good thing, the coaching license, it restricts, and like weekends like Northerns and Southerns, it's just a bit restricted, and it's still something that people don't know about.
Yeah, I think for people that are really competitive, they're going to have a coach that is probably going to be there, probably. But I think even within GB on like a smaller scale, a lot of the high up coaches are also competing. So like the two that come to mind are like you and Christian, for example. Like, you're not going to probably be able to handle that whole weekend. So then you have to find someone with the license to also do it that's not already handling their own athletes and lifters. I know they did originally say when it came out, because I remember I was asking about it as someone that's self-coached, and granted, I would just pay someone to handle me, like it's fine.
Yeah.
But I remember saying when I was self-coached, one of my friends normally just jumps in and handles me. She's not a coach. She just literally, she only buys her BP license or like her BP membership to handle me at my meets. She would normally handle me at a British, for example, like for this year. But now they've brought in this license, she can't. So originally they did say that if you have a license, you can nominate someone under your name. So I could nominate her under my name, and I would essentially be responsible for if she did anything she's not supposed to do, which obviously wouldn't happen. It falls on me. But there's been no mention of that ever since. So I don't think that's a thing anymore. Yeah,
I don't think that will be a thing. I think now it's been a little bit of time, it will just be you either have the license or you don't, and you're allowed in or you're not.
Yeah. Will be interesting, especially I think, not that this is going to be let's talk about what's going to happen at British Nats this year, but I think with it being at an expo, obviously expensive to get in anyway, then having to pay to handle, paying for a handler, like it's going to be, you can't tell, I think my daughter's about to say it. You can't tell, I'm worried about the cost of British.
It's definitely not going to be a large spectator event. I think from memory it was about $37.50 for a day.
That's not terrible, to be fair. But for a powerlifting meet.
Yeah, to just watch powerlifting is pretty dear. Like, we all love powerlifting, but
not, especially if it's a 3-day event.
Yeah, unless it's Sheffield or an international. $37.50 is a lot of money, and I get that you get access to the whole venue, and I think it's great to be kind of alongside those things. But I just think we'll wait and see. Apparently, the deadlift only last year was really good, and everyone had a lot of fun and enjoyed it. So I can only hope it's the same for when it's a full power meet.
If I'm paying $37.50 to go in, I'm going to be getting my money's worth in free samples.
That's a decent free samples. This is. I am not leaving without a full backpack of samples
each day. No, so back to actual powerlifting, not just talking about British. Your next meet, then, I'm assuming, will be British in December. You've just done Northerns, which you didn't need to do. You qualified last year, didn't you? So you're already in for British. What made you decide to do Northerns? Was it just to have something in the calendar to work towards?
Well, there was. The original thought was to do something mid-year, just to kind of break up. Like, competing twice a year, me just doesn't seem like enough. I'd kind of get bored halfway through the year, without kind of like that set goal of like, even if it's 16 weeks out, it's like, in 16 weeks I've got a meet. Maybe I should try a bit harder today. And then the rigor mortis ban came in. Then the rigor mortis ban hit, and it was, I think, either the day after or like a week after, I can't remember the exact date, August 12th maybe?
Yeah.
And so I think I competed on the 10th. So the meet lined up perfectly with like my last chance to wear rigor mortis in competition. And while it's obviously not a big deal, the knee sleeves, and everyone got, on their high horses about knee sleeves and knee sleeves, they're a cool knee sleeve, and I'd like to wear them one last time. So that was was part of it. And then obviously there was a chance if I had a perfect meet, super meet, that I could be near some British records. But obviously that didn't happen. So
it just means the super meet is waiting to happen.
Just been pushed back one more meet. That's it.
Exactly that. So you said obviously you like to compete. Was it more than twice a year? Would you say like 3-4 times a year for you is kind of better? 4 too many?
3 is a minimum, I think. I think if you're being competitive in powerlifting, like having that, like, I can't think of the perfect word for it, but that continual exposure to being on the platform and that peaking process, refining that process, the prep for it, and kind of practicing that kind of mental side of powerlifting as well, which is obviously massive, as well as weight cuts, kind of dialing that in, especially for like a lower pressure meet for me being Northerns, and especially after a dismal Europeans as well, just means that it's another chance to practice the cut, practice the rehydration properly, with that time limit. And I got moved. I was in the B flight. We got moved. The 105 got moved to the A flight. So it's like, okay, something's changed on comp day. How does that affect me? And kind of practicing the rehydration on that when I've got less time than I thought I had.
Yeah, no, that all makes sense. With the mental side of competing, what are you like as a lifter on comp day?
It depends who you ask, and depends what mood I'm in. So there's a side of me that we call Princess Pape that has been there a couple of times, which is not a very nice version of me, but it's basically I just turn miserable halfway through the competition, which no one really sees. But that was the British in 23. Yeah, 23, because I geared myself up so much to compete with Mo, and then he left me and went to do Sheffield instead.
How dare he?
And I was so like dialed in on it's going to be me versus Mo. It's going to be great. Like, turned up, Mo wasn't there, and I needed to hit a certain total to go to Worlds, and I knew it was there. And there wasn't much stress after I hit my third squat, so I kind of hit my third squat and then was like, just shrugged and was like, this isn't fantastic. I'm pretty bored. But the rest of the time I'm fairly anxious, and spend a lot of time talking. That's kind of my way of covering up being anxious, just to take my mind off it. But I can't do the whole like headphones in for the whole meet. Like, it doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
Like, they have to come off. There has to be time talking. Like, I know you're a talker as well, aren't you, on comp day?
Yeah, I don't even take headphones anymore. I just talk. As I'm walking on the platform, I'll crack some sort of sarcastic joke.
Yeah.
On the platform, put my hands on the bar, then I'll zone in. The rest of the day, I don't even know where I am.
It's mad to me. Like, I'm
the same when I come and train with you guys at Power and Through. That like I will be talking until the second I'm under the bar, and I won't be like, oh yeah, I've got this. I'm like, oh, I might get it. Just be ready to catch the bar if I fail. Like,
yeah,
just so chill. And then,
but I don't know. How do you do that? Like, what is going through your head? Like, you're saying, like, pre-lift, you're like, I might not have this, by the way. And I'm like, oh, that's not very, positive energy, positive bubble from you. Is it just that you know you've got it, you're just saying it as a joke?
No, I think if I say I've definitely got it,
yeah,
I'll be a lot more pressure on myself to get it. And also, if I tell you guys I might not get it, I know you're going to be ready to catch it in case I have.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
I don't really know what it. I think if I I've tried it. Like, I've tried smelling salts before, and I do think they help me actually focus.
Yeah.
But I think they make me take it too serious. Like, when I'm trying to be serious in any capacity when I'm lifting, I do something wrong every time. Okay. Whereas if I almost just chill and just trust that my body will do. Like, once I'm under a heavy bar, I know what to do. Yeah. I just have to trust it. Like, there's nothing I can do to prepare myself. Like, obviously, I'm not going to load something I genuinely think I've got zero chance of hitting. But yeah, I can't psych myself up at all for a lift.
Wow. It's just that you just unrack it and you're like, okay, like, it's time. We're chilling. I know what to do. Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Madness. Well, half the time I don't know what's going on through my head when the weight's on my back. But like, I don't actually know what I think a lot of the time when I'm lifting. I just kind of do. I can find the flow, but I have to get flow from having the headphones and not having exposure to any other noise as well. Suko. You're running on through.
My boyfriend's van just pulled up and the dog saw it out the window.
Oh, no.
And he knows how to open every door, so he just goes for the door handle every time.
Yeah.
But because the door pulls open, he doesn't obviously understand that. So if he's shut in my office, he'll just scrape at the door until I open it for him.
Open it for him. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Sorry, that was a big distraction.
No, you're all good. You're all good. It's just I have to get flow from having music before the lift. I find it really hard to do it without it. So maybe it's something I need to practice more, but with the headphones, it's so easy to find the flow and then just go through the normal routine. But obviously my routines are way longer than you. You just kind of put your hands on the bar and go.
Yeah, I think with music as well, like in training, when I'm training alone at home, I'll just have my speaker on in the background.
Yeah.
But I won't pay any attention to really what's playing unless it's like quite a long rest break and I'm just literally like dancing around to the music, like just having fun.
Yeah.
But when I'm under the bar, like I don't notice the music at all. And I think if I have headphones in, like if I go to a gym, because I don't know if it's because I can't hear my surroundings as well, or if I can't hear my own breathing or what it is, it's just so off-putting to me. Like I think I just have to be in such a calm state under the bar.
Yeah.
Anything else is just too distracting. Like even on comp day, I don't hear the commands. The only command I actually actively hear is the press command, but I'm so slow to start my squat anyway. It's not until they say squat that I'm like, oh shit, like I had to wait for that command. And same with like the rack command, I just let them take me in, and with deadlifts I'll just hold it as long as I think I need. Like I don't pay attention to anything on the day, literally anything. When I'm under the bar, it's just
chilling.
This little zone. Yeah
I like it. It's the no headphones thing's interesting because obviously a lot of high level lifters like Duran's trains in his garage in silence a lot of the time, and I've tried it and it's crazy. Like I like the silent training. Obviously training at a gym, it's a lot harder to get that kind of thing, and then you've got, if you're not wearing headphones, you're more likely to have conversations. Not that they get in the way of training, like they're enjoyable at the same time, but if it's like a serious session, it's kind of that universal don't talk to me. But I might try some of the headphoneless stuff.
I don't know what I think. It's just being more present in the moment for me. Like I think that's the main thing that it is. And also on comp day, because I know I can't lift with headphones on. I don't know if it's a superstition thing, but in the back of my mind I'm like, well, I don't want to have to rely on certain music in my ears when I'm doing a heavy lift, because then I won't have it on comp day. And I'm sure you will have too. There's been quite a lot of meets within British powerlifting, EPA, that have zero atmosphere and are deathly silent. So now that I'm used to lifting in quiet, it doesn't put me off.
I think that if you need loud, like heavy music, you probably shouldn't compete in British powerlifting. Like it's not going to give you that. You're going to be met with pretty much a wall of silence when you come out to lift, unless it's national meet. Maybe an expo. Maybe the expo will have a lot more atmosphere. Like
I'm going to be like a deer in headlights. It's just going to be so much noise I can't escape it.
This is it. But it's exciting though, like to see what kind of, if like the lighting's cool, like what the warm-up room's like. Because the expos I've competed at, like the warm-up rooms are never very big. Like there's never a lot of space. Everyone's kind of crammed in, and if you're doing that for, it's flights of 14, isn't it?
I don't know, because there was talk of there being prime times, and I don't know if they're going to do a weight class as prime time or split the weight classes up and potentially do different size flights. They says there's no one knows, but we should find out soon, right? Because it's not long until entries close.
Oh, is it open now?
I think the Powering 3 weekend is the last weekend people can hit totals, isn't it?
Oh, that's like 2 weeks away.
Yeah, so it's not long, but then they're going to have to send out invites, accept invites, reject invites, send out more invites. Yeah. So it depends, obviously, how long that's going to take, but
Oof. I didn't realize that it was open already for entries.
I don't know. I assume so.
I think it was 16 weeks out, and then 12 weeks out it closes for entries.
I think we are about 16 weeks out, aren't we? I think.
Yeah, 16 weeks as of
this weekend?
Weekend after, I think 17 now. 35 blocks, and it lines up pretty perfectly in a week or two's time.
And that sounds to me like super meet is on the way. It's already lined up.
It's lined up already. It has to be. Training less than ever before.
That might be the key, though. I think there'll be less pressure on you, surely. Like, you'll feel less pressure because in the back of your mind, even though you're still going to give everything to your powerlifting when you're in the gym, not your everything. So
I think
if I have a bad meet, but I'm a rugby player. If I have a great meet, you guys are rubbish. I'm a rugby player.
So much hope there. It's incredible.
Get it ready.
It will be really interesting to see what actually happens with my strength and through those things. I've already found like just any kind of like drills we're doing, like I'm very good at them. Like if it's like bear crawls, stuff like that, something I wouldn't even think of go flying off. Like it's ridiculous. Scrummaging's great. I can hold such a strong position now. And being heavier as well works. Obviously, there's a lot of guys who are a lot heavier than me, but just that positioning aspect of things and being able to hold the position you need for scrummaging is just so similar to squatting. Like for me, it's great. Like it's carried over nicely to rugby, and I think that the last time I hit a big PR total, or a big total PR, was in 2022 nationals before my first worlds, where I went from 817 to 860. What are you checking to see if
I'm looking. I was like, you got that nailed. You know all your open powerlifting stats.
It's all memorized. I could tell you where everything is as well. But yeah, so I did that. I think it was May competition in the East Mids. Did 817. Stopped. Played rugby for 6 to 9 months, and then came back around for March Nationals in 2022. And I only did it because it was in Colchester, which is like at the time was like a half hour down the road. And I didn't want to do it, but I was like, it's half an hour away, I may as well do it because I'm qualified. And came third, doing 860, so put 42.5 kilos on my total through playing rugby and 3 months of powerlifting, which is crazy.
Here's history about to repeat itself. I am going to die if other people start taking up rugby because you've taken up rugby and had this super meet. And I think it will happen. You will start a trend.
Some of my boys have started playing rugby again. Like, it's great. It's so good to see people doing other things, people who like powerlifting a lot, and want to be really good at powerlifting, but also miss what they used to do when they were slightly younger. And it's like, I don't want to use the wording that it's kind of given them permission to, but it's showing them that you can do both at the same time and still perform well at powerlifting and still be a good rugby player. Like there is room in your life to do both.
Yeah. Do you think that comes with as well? I think within coaching and programming and what's popular within powerlifting, people are starting to open their eyes a bit more to things don't have to look a specific way for them to work. I think that's becoming more popular. So then I guess alongside that, you can do something else and change how you're powerlifting, and it can all work together. It's just adjusting as you need to.
Yeah, it's obviously powerlifting coaching styles, it's very like cyclical, right? And we've gone through that like hyper specificity phase, and we're still kind of in it, I guess, a bit with kind of Agatha and Perkins doing like 6-7 times a week SBD. But then you're having more people on the other side of that scale where it's like, well, actually, I'm only doing kind of 1 or 2, and I do a bit of dumbbell press, and that's my day. Which I think is great. And it, for me as a coach, it allows me to be more creative as well, which is so much fun. Like writing these slightly alternative powerlifting plans for people who are balancing other sports makes me work harder and continue to learn on these things, which I think is so good because it's so challenging to go from, okay, like here's squat, bench, deadlift, some accessories, here's the kind of days you need to do it on, versus, okay, well, you're going to be playing a rugby game like every other weekend on no real set schedule. You're going to train as and when you can. How do we balance a program around that? Which is way more fun. It's way more complex and it's more problem solving, which is what I love to do.
Yeah.
Like that.
100%.
It just tickles the brain, problem solving. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. And you've been around long enough as well that you have seen, I would say, quite a lot of differences in the popular ways of programming and coaching as well, that there's little bits from the 2017, 2018 days, some that you probably would never touch again, but others that, oh no, we can still use a bit of this knowledge here and we can still use a bit of that there. And like, you can just combine all these things that you've learned literally over close to a decade.
Yeah.
And just get creative with it.
It's so much fun. Like, there are things that I remember doing that I say will never ever program for anyone. One of them was probably one of the worst exercises I've ever done, was quadruple pause squats, which is when I was coached by Owen Hubbard. I did quadruple pause squats, and my squat blew up the block after, but it was horrible. Like, with like boom, 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 boom.
I was going to say, where are the pauses if there's 4?
Yeah, I think it's in the hole, above the hole, in the hole, above the hole, down, up.
So it was like 1.5 rep, back down, up.
Yeah, and pause up. I can't remember exactly, but I have it written down in a Dropbox somewhere where I used to send me my program. Quadruple pause squats. Horrible.
Do you ever look back at all your old programs from when you were young? Because I've coached myself like this whole time, and I looked back at some when I got my computer, because I haven't used Windows in years.
Yeah.
Installed Windows, and I had all my OneDrive on there that I didn't even know existed. And I found these programs from, I think it was my Commonwealth prep from 2019.
Yeah.
And I was just looking through it. I was like, why were you so stupid? Like, I was trying to get myself to do so much while working horrible shifts, teaching like spin classes multiple times a week. No wonder I died after Commonwealth.
But this is how it goes, though. It's that evolution of your own coaching. And you see that and you're like, this is really dumb. But at the time, you're like, this is it. This is the only way I make progress. This is it. This is my best idea I have right now. And you look back and you're like, why? Like, I've looked through some of my like old lifters programs and kind of look back at how they lift and kind of made like, look at it now and I'm like, oh, I've made maybe a slightly different decision on that. By slightly, I mean absolutely change everything that I've done there.
Yeah.
But it's always these questions of, it's your best guess at the time, right? Especially for you coaching yourself, like, it must be really cool to see as well how your coaching's developed, but how your lifting's developed alongside that.
Yeah.
Like, I can't coach myself. It doesn't work. I can't do it. But for you being able to do it, like the fun in being able to chop and change, like obviously you were trying sumo, like a last block and the block before that.
Yeah, I think I introduced it straight after the powering through comp. So I had a 6-week turnaround to All England, and I was like, I'm just going to put it in super light for a bit of fun until the English, and then I'll see how I get on. Because I pulled sumo back in 2019, so before Commonwealth, and I think I went back to conventional just after, and then my back just went anyway. But I pulled sumo for about a year because I think I met a group of powerlifters, and they did was sumo. Like, none of them really pulled conventional, so I was like, oh well, I must have to pull sumo too then. Having no idea about anything. I used to read everything I could find on powerlifting, but it was still very much like, not being funny, I think the main source of info was like Steffi Cohen era of powerlifters that were on gear, equipped, or still squatting in wraps. Like, none of it was great.
Yeah.
And I didn't actually research anything about how to properly pull sumo.
Yeah.
And my sumo was okay. Like, I think I pulled like 160-ish when I was 19, 20, which my deadlift's not much higher than that now, to be fair. So, but it was ugly. And when I watch it back, I'm like, I was just ripping and hoping for the best. So my deadlift has not progressed. Like, I hit 190 for the first time probably 2 years ago. I've hit it once in comp since then, and I've failed in the 180s multiple times since. And my squat's been going up, which obviously has interference. My bench has been going up, but I know I'm strong enough to do more than 190, but I just can't do it conventional. So I was like, something has to change. I was like, maybe if I actually try sumo and put in what I've learned over the last few years, take my time to actually pull it with good technique, maybe it could work, which is why I'm actually having lots of fun now. Like, I've just started doing tempo to knee, and already it's just like clicking like it never did before. Like, I pulled 150 the other day, which isn't super heavy for me, but it was literally like an empty bar, and it felt comfortable and it felt smooth. And I was like, oh, maybe if I'm patient and I put my time into learning to do this, it could pay off.
And worst case, you've had fun training.
Exactly. Is it
staying all the way to nationals? Are you plan to do sumo at nationals, or are you
undecided still?
Okay.
But with how things have been feeling, probably do sumo. I'll probably keep it in regardless, because it's just something fun and different to do. And if I get 6 weeks out from nationals and I'm like, nah, sumo's terrible, this is a bad idea, then I'll probably just focus on conventional until nationals. But I'll probably keep running both and maybe just do sumo for fun, because this is the thing with nationals as well. I really want a podium again, but I think Airlove might be doing a meet soon, and if she does, she's probably going to total more than me, even if she's still a bit injured. So if she comes back and does nationals, I'm not on the podium. So I'm like, I've got nothing to lose if I pull sumo at this meet.
Well, this is it. It gives you permission to just have fun and not worry about shiny things.
Exactly. But I also like shiny things.
You also like shiny things. But maybe you have a super meet. Maybe you're up there.
Maybe. Who knows? Who knows? I don't think I'll gain that much, but who knows?
You don't know. It just explodes, and all of a sudden the 200 plus pull unlocks itself.
I hope so. The 200 squat better, if nothing else. That's all I care about at this point. It's been so close for so long.
Yeah, it's just that last bit, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think after a while it becomes a mental barrier as well. Like when I finally have 200 on the bar, I can guarantee, even if my warm-ups have felt great, and I know it's there without a doubt, there's still going to be a part in my brain that's like, oh my God, you're actually about to finally do this number. Like, I've not loaded it yet. I've not even tried.
Yeah.
Scary times. This also wasn't supposed to be about me, so let's go back to talking about you. This is quite a broad question. With your coaching, so how do you feel your coaching has changed since, like, we'll say post-COVID era? I think that's when you went full-time, isn't it? Just after COVID. Am I right in thinking that?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So over the last, 4 or 5 years, which has gone really quickly, how do you feel like your coaching has kind of changed your approach to it? It's a very broad question.
Yeah, it's very broad. My coaching approach has always been fairly similar in that reply times matter a lot to people. Being on time is the best thing you can do for people. Like, if you are late consistently on doing people's programs or on your replies, like, you are not going to be able to look after yourself as a coach for very long. Like, people will just stop, because you're paying for someone to care about your lifting. In essence, you're not paying for a friend, but you're paying for someone to be looking, to be responsive, and unless otherwise said, like, the replies need to be in a timely manner. Like, I have a 48-hour reply window, and I'll tell, usually in advance, I'm going on holiday. It's like, these 3 days I will not do replies. Like, I will catch up as soon as I'm back.
Yeah,
it's a set 48 hours, and I say to everyone, like, if I'm late on that, just shout at me. Like, I give you permission. Double, triple message me, like, shout at me if I'm over my 48 hours, because that's me not doing my job.
Yeah.
And that's the job, right? Like, the client's job is to check in and give good feedback. My job is to do the program, reply, help them out. Like, any little thing that I can do to help someone get better, like, that's what I need to be taken care of.
Do you think, this is another probably quite broad question, but with that, obviously, I think the conversation around professionalism as an online coach is growing a lot lately, and people are treating it more like an actual profession. And when I say that, I don't even necessarily mean coaches are. I think lifters, like you kind of mentioned there, like, you're not paying someone to be your friend. You're paying them to be invested in your training, to help you be the best you can be at what you want to do, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel like, in terms of professionalism, and I guess that's what, by that I mean, having set structures in place, like, don't know if you have set office hours or anything like that. How has that changed for you over the last few years?
I find it hard to believe that a lot of online coaches have, like, set office hours. Like, and I think Marcellus has talked about it before, but the job itself is a lifestyle job, in my opinion. Like, if you are online coaching, you have a lot of freedom in your time. And I personally, I don't work well in the middle of the day. Like, that's just me. Like, any job I've had, any kind of, like, studying, middle of the day is a write-off for me. Like, I can't do anything. Hits 10 p.m, I'm on fire. 7 a.m, on fire. Like, this block in the middle of the day, I can't do it. So having a set office hour of, like, oh, I work 9 to 5 wouldn't work, because from 11 till 4, I don't do any work. Like, I will go either side. Like, I used to, when I worked in data analysis, I would get into the office at 7 a.m. and leave at 3. Because if I was going to work hard, I would work hard first thing in the morning. I didn't, but that's a whole different story. I played solitaire and did my online coaching. But like, I would work hard at that point, and then it's done, because my brain just functions better then. But I think having a cut-off time in the evening, like, if you're a person, like, who wants to have that, having a set cut-off time is great. But if you have a set cut-off time, you need to be working before those hours, in my opinion. I feel like I can't reply to you after 6. It's like, okay, well, before 6, there's going to
need to be there.
Yeah. But I think it's a good thing. I think it's only a good thing for the industry as a whole. But people to be taking more accountability in terms of reply times. That's obviously a major thing for me, is reply times. But in terms of programming, in terms of how they talk to people as well, like that coming through a bit more, I think it's good. And with how saturated the market is for coaches, because anyone can be a coach.
Yeah.
I started off coaching as one of the people with no qualification. I just spent my entire university degree basically doing powerlifting and studying powerlifting in uni. I think is a good thing. I wonder where it ends up though. Like this is, I don't know where professionalism ends and whether powerlifting ever gets regulated. Yeah. But I don't really think it can.
I don't think in the online, I think with things like the coaching license in terms of within our Fed, that's a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
But then it's also with the regulation within the Fed, is it going to be, if you want to coach people in British powerlifting, you have to do the British powerlifting courses and things like that, which I think they're better now, but I've not heard good things in the past, which is why I've never done them. Like I did my PT and everything and work like that. And that's kind of what I will say if someone's like, are you qualified? That's where mine comes from, like in person. But you can't then regulate who someone's hiring online, right? And if things like bodybuilding coaching, which is bigger than powerlifting, doesn't have regulations in place, how is powerlifting going to?
Yeah, well, this is it. The courses don't get better. Like I did the IPF, I think it's level 2 course.
Did you learn lots about how to coach a female powerlifter in that?
Yep, so much. Oh God, it was an experience. I'll say that for but what I can really say on that, it was I have a certificate and a T-shirt, and
it ticks the box. You've got the qualification. You've done it.
Yeah, it
was
was
still something. The thing is, as well, I like when people have qualifications at least within some kind of fitness area or British powerlifting, IPF, whatever. Even if these courses don't teach you a lot, like me, for example, my level 2 and level 3 personal training courses, even my nutrition course, which is a level 5, didn't really teach me anything. I learned pretty much everything through my own back of going online and finding it myself, right? But you just have something formal that says you've done it, tick the box, to show that you take it seriously as a career and as a job. And I think that, like the IPF course, you have done that, and now you have that, and you have that tick box.
Yeah, no, it's good. But I just say, like, for online powerlifting coaching, I think could you go to protect the term, I guess, but even then that's going to be ropey, isn't it? Like, you just find workarounds for it. Like, yeah. Silly, isn't it?
Yes, it is. So don't have too many more questions for you. We've kind of gone on lots of different directions with this.
Yeah. As expected.
As expected. Is there anything you would like to shout out before we wrap up? Coaching spaces, even what you offer for your coaching, to be fair, because I feel like you're not the most public with your coaching. I know you share your lifters a lot, and I think you are very much word of mouth. You have a good reputation. People go to you for that. But if you want to give a little bit of a plug, I guess, for your coaching, I know you're going to hate me saying that because you're probably not going to want to do it.
No, I don't enjoy that side of things. I think I've built everything on word of mouth. Like I haven't advertised my coaching. I didn't even have an Instagram from it till earlier last year. That was kind of forced on me to do. Like I don't enjoy the advertising side of things. I find it like I'm having to push into it more now because that's how the market's become.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting though, because I mean, I would say I would be the same too. Like, it's not a natural thing.
Yeah,
and some coaches it comes naturally to. Like some people some people it comes naturally to. It's like learning to sell yourself, sell what you offer. Yeah, speak with this unfathomable confidence around everything you offer and everything you do. But then equally, I think it speaks volumes to the business you have built. This is the nice thing I'm ever going to say to you, that you have built this business literally through word of mouth. Like I've known you since I started around 2018, and you have been popular literally as a coach since then because of word of mouth.
It's a bit wild. It's very nice of everyone. I'm very appreciative of everyone who's ever said anything nice about me, or been coached by me, or is coached by me, or will be coached by me. It's crazy to think that this is right now my full-time job. And that's been for years. But the being able to sell yourself thing, doesn't come naturally. Some people it comes naturally too. Like, I obviously Lewis and Owen are absolutely fantastic at it, and Owen is a salesman beyond belief. And I can never do that. Like, I don't understand how they do it, but they're so good at it. And like, props to them. This isn't hate, but like, I find it incredible that they can sell so well. But it just doesn't come naturally to me, and it's, I guess, something to work on. But that advertising side is completely brand new to me, and like content creation as well, right? For coaching, never really thought to do it. Well, I've thought about doing it and gone, well, it isn't really something I'm comfortable with. But now, market goes how it goes. So we'll try content creation and see how that goes.
It's finding what you feel most comfortable with as well. Like, some people, I think Instagram, for example, right? Some people like the talking reels. Some people hate talking to a camera. Some people like the information carousels. Some people struggle to put words that concise into a post. It's finding what works for you. Like, I hate short form content. I can't ever get it right. So my main thing is YouTube. And actually, weirdly, most of my clients now come through YouTube, which I never thought I'd say. It's not a big channel. I don't get tons of views, but I've had multiple like international clients come through, and like people within the UK. When I was at Southerns the other week, someone was like, "Oh my God, Sean, like, I watch your YouTube." It's like,
that's so sick.
What? And bear in mind, like, your following will be at least twice as big as mine, right? At least, probably more. I don't know how big your following is. More people will know who you are than me. And it's just, if I can find business through my social media.
It's so cool that your YouTube's doing that, though. Like, YouTube takes so much effort and so much time to get right and produce. And obviously, I've never watched your YouTube because
you're a really good friend.
Yeah. Like, I will not watch your YouTube. I will not watch your content. I'll look at it and go, "Sure, nice." Like, I'm sure it's very good. But the same way, if I do YouTube, you might click on it for 2 minutes and then go, "God, that voice is painful," and then click on it.
I'd watch. I'm supportive. I would watch. But my thing there is, I find it easier to sit and talk to a camera and just kind of have like a conversation with myself rather than short, concise, get to the point reels. Like, it's just that little bit easier for me.
Yeah.
And I think finding what works for you is the important thing.
Yeah. Do you think you'd do it if you went to a gym, Joanne, if you didn't have the garage gym?
No, absolutely not. When Lewis briefly started YouTube for a bit, I think it was Commonwealth Prep, he was like, "Oh, Sean, next time you're down, should we collab on YouTube?" And I was like, yeah. We didn't. And I never take my camera into powering through. Yeah. Granted, like, bearing in mind, you guys, like, a lot of you use big cameras and stuff anyway to film your sets, right?
For every session, it's a nightmare.
Yeah, it's probably a gym where I wouldn't be that judged for doing it, but I would never.
I would judge you, but you can do it.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. But even in the garage, I will shut the doors most of the time and make sure my boyfriend can't hear me from indoors. I won't film in here. I've only recently started filming the podcast with him home.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, fair enough. Like, I wouldn't want to do it either, but I figured that you'd be absolutely fine with that.
Nope.
No?
Which is silly, because I also feel like, obviously my YouTube's not big, but I'm at over 1,000 subscribers. Like, it's not
big, by the way. Like, why are you putting yourself down on that? Because that's insane. Like, that's so good. But you're like,
it's really cool.
1,000 subscribers on YouTube is so much harder than getting followers on Instagram. Like, so much harder.
I mean, yeah, but I still think of it as a really small channel. So I would never have the confidence if I'm filming myself like in person somewhere. And they'd be like, "Oh, what are you filming for?" If I said YouTube, I'd be so embarrassed. Like, I'd feel myself go red.
Oh. Yeah, but 1,000 subscribers is really good. Like, you film yourself in Asda, you go do your weekly shop and vlog it. Like,
that's Can you imagine?
Get the camera out and just walk around Asda.
Maybe one day. I think it's one of those things. It's like exposure therapy. Like, I just have to make myself do it. Yeah. But not there yet.
I think that's something that both of us would very much struggle to do, is filming something that public.
Should we do a food shop together around Asda? We'll get Lewis to hold the camera for us.
Just sitting in front of the trolley and then just drop food in there. I guess, yeah, finding what actually works for you in terms of content creation, what you enjoy. And for you, I guess, with your self-coaching as well, it's probably a good way to get through your ideas and how you feel and stuff like that.
Yeah, so because you haven't watched my YouTube, generally I film my sessions and I recap them how I almost would to a coach, but obviously in more detail, because and like at the start of a block, if I've made any changes, I'll run through them in the video as I'm showing what I'm doing. So it's just a training log, really, but I'm just vocalizing my thoughts behind it, and like switching shoes on squats, which I've done every other week lately. Why? Explaining it.
Yeah, because you want to.
Pretty much. I don't want to wear more than one pair of shoes for my training session.
Yeah, it's the worst part. 3 pairs of shoes I have, and I hate it. But at the same time, I'm like, I can't wear any of these single shoes for another lift because it doesn't feel right. Like the shoes I have for deadlifts slip when I do on bench press, and I can't wear them to squat because they don't have enough support. My squat shoes, the heels are up when I'm benching, doesn't work. My bench shoes are not suitable for squatting or deadlifting in. Like it's a
hard life. It's really difficult. It's the hardest part.
This is Who thought that power?
Do you at least wear one belt for everything?
Yeah, I didn't used to. Before I got the bright blue belt, my insert belt, I would have 2 different belts. Yeah.
2 different belts and 3 pairs of shoes. Traveling for an international comp.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah. Plus, non-international comps are change of singlets, change of t-shirts, change of socks, obviously.
That's true. Yeah, you do like to change your singlet mid-comp, right?
Yeah, I have this thing. Typically when things are going badly, I like to change my singlet, and I always have to wear black for squats. Like, that's my thing. Because of depth. Like, my depth is absolutely fine. It's absolutely fine, but Tom B...
You're just giving away the secret.
Everyone can have it. Black singlet for squats, that's the key. If you have a bright coloured singlet, they can see the hip crease so clearly. And if it's black, benefit of the doubt is what you play with. And it's all Tom Beach's fault. Like, I weighed in, we had a lovely conversation. I thought I was all good for the rest of the comp. Nope. It's the only, to my memory anyway, it's the only ref in British powerlifting that's given me a red for depth.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny. So it's a superstition thing, really, of if squats haven't gone great, change singlet.
But also, like, I won't wear colours, and day 7 do so many good colours. It's worth changing for that. Yeah.
Speaking of, you got a code for A7?
Get paid.
Get a panda sticker.
Yeah, panda sticker. You get a little lanyard with pandas.
We've got one plug in there. We're going to go back now because that was a big tangent. Yeah. What is your coaching? Am I right in thinking you do 2 types of coaching? You do high and low contact?
Yes, so I do high contact coaching, which is the 48-hour reply window through WhatsApp, like programmed through Google Sheets as well, which is for people who need that more regular contact. And typically it's within 48 hours, no, 24 hours. I'll reply, but 48 is a cap if I'm busy, which is that more hands-on style of coaching. And then I do low contact, which is a weekly check-in with a Google form to fill in the information, and then I'll reply to that, and kind of that once a week contact point for people who are a little bit more independent, or maybe don't want to spend as much on powerlifting coaching as high contact coaching, because it is it's a luxury to be able to afford powerlifting coaching. And I think it's something that people forget and take for granted a bit. Yeah. It's a lot of money for people to spend on coaching.
Yeah. I think that's a really good point to just bring up as well. Like, if you look at bodybuilding coaches, they are so much more expensive than powerlifting coaches. Powerlifting coaches aren't charging enough, but equally, if you look at who powerlifters are, most people are not going to have 150, 200 plus pounds a month spare to spend on a coach, as well as gym memberships and whatever else they want to spend it on.
Yeah, it's an absolute luxury, and I think we take for granted how many people do afford powerlifting coaching for a hobby that doesn't pay really anyone, right? Like, there are very few people in the world who actually get paid to powerlift, and like powerlifting specifically, not sponsorships, but like different brands like ESN and such, but more for just lifting. You don't get paid for it.
Yeah.
And to spend, as you say, 150, 200 pounds a month, you're looking at £2,000 a year.
Yeah.
For a hobby, it's a lot of money.
Yeah, 100%. So if people would like to reach out for coaching, Ben, how can they do so?
Through my Instagram, either at team.pape or at Pape Powerlifting. I have a link in my bio for the Google form for that. And if you just want to ask any questions, just message me. And there's a contact form on my website as well, which is just teampape.co.uk.
Perfect. We got there in the end. We got the plug.
Felt terrible.
I knew you'd feel awkward the second I brought it up, but it's important, and I think it is important to note. Like, again, I'm not going to be nice to you anymore after this.
Yeah,
you have built this literally from word of mouth. Like, I get told lots of things about lots of different coaches, but genuinely don't think I've actually been told anything bad about your coaching. And when I say bad, I mean even tiny little details people complain about. Like, I don't think I have. So
that's very nice of you to say.
I'm never saying anything nice to you again.
Yeah, I can feel
apart from thanking you for coming on, because
yeah,
I appreciate it. Because you did say no when I first asked you before I even started the podcast. As a friend, I went up to you and said, Ben, I'm thinking of starting a podcast. Would you please come on? You didn't even hesitate to shoot me down instantly.
You said, I'm starting a podcast. Do you want to come on it? And I said, no. But I didn't want to go on. Podcasts are terrifying. And also, my default answer for anything where I have to put myself out there is no. Like, I like my bubble. I like staying in. But no. But thank you for having me. It has been very fun.
I'm glad. Thank you for coming on.
That's all right.